There we go. Hello everybody, how we doing this today? So, as usual, Tuesday, it's work time to try to get through some of the projects that are on the bench, which there are quite a few. One of the things that's just been sitting on my desk for a while is this model kit that I need to get put together. So I'm probably going to work on that through some of this, at least start the assembly. I think this is actually just a snap kit. I don't think it's going to take a whole bunch to put this one together. But kind of one of those things, I want to get this put together. I want to resume working on the Mercy figurine that we were working on last time. Start getting some more highlights into this one. Then I think I probably will pull the Super Star Destroyer in here, and I finally got my act together and I now have power, so may do some work with a 3D printing pin here after a while. But first off, I want to get this thing off my desk and get this done. So I'm just going to put it together. I'm not going to really do any work on it. What I want to do is get it together, look for the gaps, and then start working on getting it filled and getting it ready for paint. I don't plan on lighting this one up, so it's going to be just kind of this one's just going to be a build and paint is the plan for this one. And sorry guys, I know I keep looking off to the right. Got something coming, should show up tomorrow to stop me from looking off to the right and keep me looking at the camera here. But this is the new Voyager kit. I've been wanting to put this together for a little while. It's just been sitting in the box. And it's a really cool looking kit. My father built one of these kits for me. Boy, when I was a kid, back in, I think Voyager came out in what, 95, 96? So it's kind of one of those things that's just been, it's still actually sitting down there on my shelf. I still have it downstairs actually. This one's kind of just one I've been wanting to kind of put together and get worked on. Talk about some model tricks too. Tips and tricks here, and some of the tools that, even with just a model kit, this all translates into 3D printing too. Because basically, this is just a pressed plastic into a mold, but it's similar to what we do in 3D printing. Actually, you see a lot of companies that make these switching to more 3D printed parts. So, I mean, some of the base tools you need a good pair of side cutters. I love the Citadel mold line remover for getting off those little burrs and stuff that become a problem. It's a really good tool to work with. And for a model kit like this, I'll use the Tamiya extra thin cement to assemble. Just kind of my preference to use that and kind of work this thing together. So I'm going to set the stand off to the side here. Kind of curious how everybody's week's been going. Hopefully everybody's been doing well. I am finally feeling better, which is great. No one likes feeling bad, so hopefully everybody's staying safe and staying warm. Missouri can't make up its mind. We got into a... Yesterday we were cold, and today we got up into a nice 50 degree, and I think we're supposed to be warm again even tomorrow. So, which is always a good thing. But basically, to start getting some of these parts put together. Start getting these warp nacelles laid down here. This shouldn't take too long to put together, and we'll get that Star Destroyer and stuff over here. Because I know you guys probably want to see me do some of the work with the 3D printing pen. Because that's just an interesting thing to do for gap filling. And 12 and 12, alright. So you belong there. Honestly, this first steps are probably the most difficult ones for the warp nacelles. 4, 5. My week's been going good. It's been busy, working a little extra on the day job, but you know, that's the way things go. And that sound you just heard is Eva deciding to get up and move around. He was my my pup, so who knows, she may even come over here and grace us with her presence. You never know with her, but she does love her couch. Alright. Weights. And we need these. So. Almost got all the parts. Put these together. Kind of just one of those things. It's just been it's a work week. So I'm kind of just chilling back a little bit right now. Like I said, I've been wanting to get this assembled and just have not had time. Sometimes the fun of these models is the hunt for the part. That I am just... Oh, there they are. Right there in plain sight. Oh no, I'll have to go find that part. Hopefully it won't be too difficult here when they fall down on the floor. That's the bad thing about the floor. Clear part, white floor. They can go into easy hiding on you. And they never land where you think they would fall. That's alright. We'll proceed without it for the moment. Start with the upper part here. So, but all in all, looking forward to, like I said, just getting this model assembled for one. Is been on my to-do list for a while, so I figured why not share it here. So because right now, like these clear parts, I really don't care about them being clear because I'm gonna paint this, so which they're being stubborn and don't want to go into their homes. You can't blame them. Hopefully I don't lose patience here with it. And pops right back out. For a snap tight model. Not doing too hot. Does anybody have any printing questions or anything this week? Anything going on with the printers that are giving anybody grief or anything like that that they want some help with or anything like that? That's part of what the streams are for. Those burrs off there. Clean that up. And try this again. That should just pop into place. Oh, there it goes. That's one down. Let's pop another one in. Maybe. There we go. Finally got it in there. Alright, get this warp grill in there. Awesome. This guy goes over here. And then we've got this piece goes in right here. Go. And this little piece slides in right there. Both my Ender 3s, my V2 and my Standard, have the dual Z-Rod kit. And I will fully admit, especially for the Ender 3 V2, and I put a couple videos out on this, I had nothing but problems with my V2 and bed leveling. It would seem like I could level it, and it would change in a matter of moments. And what I found was that that right side was sagging and not staying tight. So when I added the second Z-Rod, that wobble was removed. And I maybe level my Ender 3 V2 every 3 or 4 prints, just for sanity. So it has improved my printing. A lot of people are just kind of like, no, it can make things worse. For me, it's been a blessing. Because one of the things that the people say, oh, you don't need it and stuff like that, then here's my question: why does the CR10 V2 and V3 and all the newer, larger printers all come with it standard? So if I don't need it, then why are these printers doing it too? So it has worked very well for me. I'd be curious to see what your experience is when you install it, because it does take some calibration once you first install it. So once you get it installed, you kind of have to mess with the lead screws to get everything moving correctly, and make sure once you've installed it, run it all the way up once you think you have it right, to make sure it will go up to the top and not bind. That is one thing I've run into a couple times, is it'll get out of sync and it'll bind. Now, that's not necessarily an issue caused by the Z-Rods. It's just leveling. But that X-axis gantry can get unleveled. So where you have to just kind of take one side and twist it a little bit to level it back out. And a lot of people are probably horrified that I said that, but honestly, it's the truth. So I have found them to really improve both my Ender 3s. My Odin 5, which is the same size as an Ender 3, came with dual Z-Rod standard. It was built into the printer, and it works, and I've never had a problem with that. Printer is probably the most tried and true printer I've ever had. Because I can feed that thing just about anything and it will print. And I don't think I've ever clogged it. But what's cool about that one is it comes as a direct drive extruder standard. So if you're curious about the Odin 5, go check out my videos on it, because that printer, 4 bolts, plug in a few cables, level my bed. I was printing in less than 20 minutes with that printer. It is a beast of a machine. The Ender 3s, yeah, they cost less, but you're going to do a lot of modding if you want to get it to be something truly productive. You're going to be modding that machine. You're going to want to mod it to get it to be something really productive. If you want to do something more industrial, or if you want something where you're printing a lot, you're going to have to mod it. And the Ender 3 V2, my biggest problem with the Ender 3 V2 was sound. She was noisy when I got her, even louder than my Ender 3 Pro. And I did the Noctua fan swap outs and stuff like that, and really quieted down the printer. I'm gonna hop down real quick, but I'm gonna keep talking. I'm just looking for that part I dropped. So kind of keep that in mind as you go through putting in that dual Z-Rod kit. The dual Z-Rod kit, it does not take that long to install. I think my video's 20 minutes to install it, but it can really help out the stability of that machine. So kind of keep that in mind when you're doing that, what you're wanting to do. Sorry, clear pieces. Trick of the trade: clear piece dropped on the carpet, a flashlight can be your friend. Let's see here. Well, chalking that one up to lost. That's alright, I'll fill it in somehow. NSS, I don't know why. I don't know, maybe your message was too long, but Streamlabs kind of knocked you out for a second. It'll let you type again here in a minute. Yeah, I kind of need to work on Streamlabs a little bit for that one. So, but yeah, it's definitely, the Ender 3 V2 can be a great machine. Do not get me wrong on that. So, it definitely can be your friend as a printer. Alright, let's get more of the engineering section done here. Alright, those two pieces. I'm just getting a bunch of pieces cut free here at the moment. We'll kind of make this thing look like it's supposed to here in a minute. But for being a snap tight kit, I got a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of glue. Yeah, I've got the Micro Swiss hot end on mine. I don't like doing the auto bed leveling. It's good, but frankly, I found it to be more troublesome than I did helpful. Because you think, oh, auto bed leveling, yeah. Then you got to do a bunch of math, pray you get it right, hope your Z offset is correct, and then hope that it's going to actually work correctly. And I just had enough bad experiences with like I've used the Easy ABL on my printers when I tried it. I actually have a CR Touch downstairs that was sent to me to try, and I have not put on any printer yet because I just have not wanted to go down that route yet, because basically I find bed leveling with the machinist gauge works best for me. I can go through and bed level with the machinist gauge and get really good in and accurate and tight. And since I only need to level every couple prints, what I've done is I level everything once a week. I just go through and I level everything. I put the frame on, I level it, and I go to town. So that's just kind of my methodology. Now when I got to level, when you got to level, oh shoot, how many are down there now? 8 printers. It the machinist gauge just made my life better. So and I know my printers, so I know their level, I know they're good to go. I just know they're right using the machinist gauge. Now granted, the Easy ABL, it's good, but I found it more time consuming to work with it than to just level it and move on. So that's just my experience with the auto bed levelers. And that's just me. I'm good with it, with just doing it by hand. I will admit though too, my CR10 Max, it came with it built in, so I didn't rip it out. I just made it work, and it's been great for that machine. But that machine is so big that you want an auto leveler. The bigger the printer, an auto leveler can be a godsend. So yeah, none of my printers have an Easy ABL anymore. I ripped them off. So that's just my experience. Nothing against TH3D or anything like that. I think they do make really good products, but for me, it just wasn't for me. So now too, when I especially back in my bed leveling video where I talk about it and do some demonstrating of bed leveling, I talk about that experience, because you got to mod it. Not only do you got to install it on your printer, flash your printer to a new firmware, but then you got to take the time. You got to go in, adjust your Cura to get all the settings in there and everything else, and it just was not, to do that to my entire fleet's just not worth my time. Where the machinist gauge method, like I said, I can level everything down. I can level all 8 printers downstairs in about 30 minutes. So with the machinist gauge, it actually takes longer to set it up and run the program than it actually does for me to level the printer. So that's just my experience. Learning how to level your printer is key in this game. I wonder, you know, I was looking at a print that failed, and yes, I have failed prints all the time. I looked at a print to fail, and yeah, it was totally bed level. I've got the CR Touch downstairs, so I might do a video about it. I might throw it on my CR10 V3 or something. Because right before the stream here, I was downstairs undoing a clog. That just kind of made my day to wake up to. So, but hey, makes good content for Instagram when you've got a fail. So. But yeah, my Ender 3s, I don't use them as much as I should, probably. I've kind of let those guys sit probably too much here lately. My habit is especially with my Enders. My Enders are my prototypers. If I'm not sure about something, I'll do it small scale and I'll use the Ender 3. Before I'll throw it on a CR10 and, you know, make that investment of a large print. I use the Enders to test it out, and then I make that commit to the larger printer. So it's always scary when you're getting close to that. All right, let's do this big print. And just so you guys have an update too, R2D2 project is coming along. We've got, I think I'm on print 6 of the dome out of 8. So we'll probably be seeing that coming onto the streams here soon. So that project is really moving along. Just the dome shell is 8 prints. So definitely I'm definitely a fan of the CR10 drip drops. The CR10 is the CR10 V2, like I said, that V2 version, V2, V3. I got 3 of them. 3 out of my 8 printers are those models. And then I've got a CR10 V1 and a CR10 Max. So, whoops, I just broke my desk. The CR10s are definitely the leaders of my fleet. So, the CR30, I'm working hard on that one here lately to try to zero that guy in. I'm still kind of struggling getting my print profile just the way I like it on that printer, because it's different. It's, you know, being a belt fed printer and stuff like that, it's a different ball game. But I want that production value that printer that it gives me. So it's one of those things I'm still kind of hooked on there. You know, it's kind of one of those things. I haven't looked to buy a new printer at all lately, so courtesy of some vendors, you guys noticed on the channel, I had some new resin printers that I tried out, and I'm actually in love with. I have some loves and some dislikes of them. The Voxlab Proxima 6, good printer, but boy, I got to figure out a way to quiet it down. It is noisy. When my wife wakes up and can hear my printer, yeah, I got to do something about that. So, because the other printers, she doesn't hear them. Or if she's hearing a printer, usually it's something wrong. So, but the Sidewinder, I don't have it. I've never worked with any of the artillery printers. Artillery, anybody there, you know, that works there is watching this, please feel free to send me one. I'll gladly do a review on it. Gotta throw in that smattering of sales right there, guys. But it's kind of one of those things. I've never had the I've never worked with one, so I can't give it a yay or nay. So I won't bash something I don't know. Creality fanboy, yes. That's an understatement. Yeah, that's something unfortunately I can't help you out on. Now, Drip Drops, is this going to be your first printer? Just out of curiosity. So I think I looked at the tech specs and it's similar to a CR10, scale-wise. Streamlabs. I don't even know what constitutes a long message, so I'm going to have to check out that moderating setting. Because I'm sure it's annoying you guys, and I would have liked to have seen what you sent. So Drip Drops, if you can kind of slow the message down a little bit, break it into chunks, that would probably help to let us see what you're trying to type in there. Oh, the Ada A8. I hear a lot of people use that printer, and a lot of people love that printer from what I understand. Especially for learning and assembling and stuff. It is a great starter spot. Nice thing about this model being snap kit is I can get it back apart. Or not get it together at all, which is always the fun of these too. There we go. Larger bed. Drips, what's the price on the Sidewinder? What is the price on that? So I can tell you right now, a CR10 V2, I think I saw them out there on Amazon right now for $397. Which is not a bad price, as they're usually running somewhere around $500. But yeah, the larger bed. That was always my pet peeve with the Ender 3 when I first started out. And actually, I started out with a Monoprice Mini. And went from there. That was a fun little printer. It was a little nightmare because it was never worked correctly. So yeah, CR10 V2. Actually, I closed it. See if I still have the link saved. Nope, I didn't. But, let's go out here. Let's go have some fun. NSS, thank you for the donation. That's awesome. I appreciate that, man. That helps out a lot. And there goes a little chime for it. Appreciate it. CR10 V2. Yep. Let me switch the screen here. Yep, didn't do it. Come on. There we go. So yeah, right now on Amazon, CR10 V2, which I have 2 of these sitting downstairs. I love this machine a lot. That's the Mark Smith. That's Voyager. I'm actually just kind of... I've had it sitting on my... Oh, you can't see it right now, so I'll hold it up here. I've had it on my desk for a while. It's the new Voyager kit. I'm just trying to get it at least roughly assembled so I can see where gaps are going to be, so I can paint it. So just been sitting on my desk and wanting to get it done. But yeah, right now Prime $379. Drip, do you want me to put a link in the description to that or into the chat? I'll do it anyway, just in case you guys are curious. So yeah, there's a direct Amazon link to the printer. Let's see here, because Amazon's got to be a pain. Sidewinder X2. So yeah, the Sidewinder is running about $469 right now. So I mean, there's a $70 difference. Let's just take a look at it. 300 by 300 by 400. That's same as a... I'm kind of curious. The only thing that I find about this design that drives me nuts is this base. The way they put everything into the base, all the fans, everything are shoved in there. And it's kind of one of those things. I have always kind of found this design to be noisier than like the Enders or the CR10s. That and like the CR10, what I love about the control box being separate is I can set that up so air can get in better underneath, and it just kind of gives a lot of options to it that this you can't really do that. The top bar being plastic, that bothers me a little bit. There's a lot of flash on here. So, I mean, if I had to choose, I mean, the money is where you go. Is I would pick a CR10 V2, but that's just me. I know them; they're tried and true, and I use them in the shop quite a bit. So, all right, back to this fun project. So, like I said, I just want to get it assembled tonight if I can. And we can always bring the painting onto the channel if you guys want to see it. Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of what that style sounds like. I remember I had a Sunlu S8 sent to me, and immediately it was sent back because the one, unfortunately, I got was broken. Which isn't on them. It was damaged in shipping, so I'm not putting that on Sunlu at all. But just kind of one of those things. It's definitely... And Drips, if you go out there, I actually have an unboxing video where I unboxed my CR10 V2 out on the channel. Taking it out of the box and putting it together and all that. So if you definitely want to go for that one, go for it. It's definitely worth it. And it's worth your time. Because I easily have doubt... Oh, shoot. This guy, which we'll be working on next, was a 200-hour print job. So, and each one of my CR10s has done that. So you can imagine the amount of time I've put in on my CR10s downstairs is immense. So I've definitely worked them hard. we'll go get that model again here in a little bit, because we got some 3D pin work to do to that model to make a few things better. But let's hurry up and get this guy kind of done here. Part 104. Here we go. That's 103. 102. That can't be 104. It's 102. Well, make sure you're subbed, man, because there's all kinds of stuff about that. And actually, I'm working on a video of clearing clogs off that printer. So I actually had to clear one today that took me about 15 minutes. It takes me about 15 minutes to completely redo the Bowden tube and the nozzle and all that stuff. So it is quite an efficient machine. And the V2, what's cool about it is if you decide you want the direct drive extruder, that you can actually upgrade with the Titan direct drive and just flash the V3 firmware on there, and boom, you've got a V3. So it is kind of cool how that printer works. So they did a good job. Lots of good bells and whistles. So if that's the one you choose, I hope you enjoy. Oh yeah, we definitely got Star Wars on here, Mark. We got just about all of them over here. So right now I'm working on some Star Trek. What did I do? Of course, the current not Babylon 5. My current Battlestar Galactica project is downstairs, I guess. My Colonial Viper Mark II has been coming along really well. I put it in a primer this week. Alright, so there's the windows. I can snap this set together. Like I said, I'm just kind of rough fitting this one, because there's definitely going to be sanding, more cleaning of edges, but I was curious just to see how good the kit was. Because sometimes these kits are really good, sometimes they're not. This one's been going together fairly well, as long as I can, not lose parts, which I keep doing. But all in all, this one's going together kind of smooth. We're actually ready to start making her look like an Intrepid class. But like I can see, like right here, the light's not good. Right here, there's a gap there I'm going to have to fill. And, gaps like this are really easy to fill with the Tamiya plastic putty. I'll just go in and kind of fill it into the seam and wipe away the excess. Same with this these seam lines right here along the outer hull edge here. I'll fill those in with some of the Tamiya putty and smooth it out so it actually doesn't show like a seam. And like the Citadel mold line remover, it's a great tool for just peeling stuff back, getting these burrs off and making it smooth. And again, why I recommend this tool, it doesn't cut your hand. So, because I don't have very good calluses there, and I can rub that thing all the time. Oh, don't worry, it's printing. I wanted to do the model kit and then print one and paint it alongside so we can see the differences, see some of the challenges with an actual 3D print. I was actually working on a resin one, but my mono has, I'm waiting on FEP paper to show up so I can replace the bottom of the FEP tank and get back to printing this girl. So, unfortunately, I had a tear in the FEP paper when I was working on it, so luckily there was no resin in the tank and no casualties were done at that time. So I got lucky on that one. I'll be honest, I got real stinking lucky on that one. Oh no. Just like how I forgot to put this in, and now I gotta try to peel that up to hope I get that in place properly. Because that is not a great line to try to... Okay, come on back out. Where'd you go? Okay, well, luckily, this is why the model is just snapped together right now. Alright. Get that part back out. Go back for the missed shuttle bay doors here. Come on. Go to your home. You know you want to go to your home. You're going to be one of those parts that makes me glue you in place. Yeah, you are going to be a glue-on part. All right. Because I've lost patience. There's where you're supposed to go. We'll get this guy glued on real quick. So what else everybody else been up to? I saw you had the question, but then it deleted it. NSS, if you can put that in again, definitely try to answer your question. Because one of the things about with my stream, it may seem like a dumb question. Nothing's dumb here. We're all getting started. So I want you guys to ask the questions. So don't ever hesitate to ask me a question. Because I'll be honest, 4 years ago, I was just getting started printing. And I felt like I had a lot of dumb questions. And luckily I had someone that was really cool that did 3D printing here in town that was willing to actually teach. And I think that's a real failing in the community, is the willingness to teach. Honestly, anywhere in the world right now it's a failing. But it's one of those things. The whole point of this channel is to learn and teach. So nothing is a stupid question here. I want that made clear straight out the gate. Come on, go back in your holes. There we go. Now it's in there. Fix the saucer section real quick. And it's one of those things, you know, we are primarily a 3D printing channel, but I do 3D printing. I do 3D models too. I enjoy building model kits. I have since I was a little kid. So you're doing PLA, but is it warping down at the build plate or is it warping up in the print? Yes, it can warp in two places. It's kind of a weird thing. So it's a different question. And is your printer in a climate controlled space or in a space where it can get cold at night? Hey Douglas, how's it going? I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but I'm also trying to figure out what's going on with your printer. So, okay, so it's happening at the build plate. So warping at the build plate with PLA can be a sign that your build plate maybe has a hot spot, like one spot in your build. Is it always consistently the same place it's warping? So is it always warping at the same, like, is it warping at the same corner of the build plate, or is it... Basically, I'm just trying to determine if it's the whole plate, or if it's, like I said, if you're getting a hot spot in your plate. Sometimes it's just the filament. So my go-to filament is always usually been inland PLA. That's usually my favorite. I'm actually kind of deviating from that right now because I'm sick of 1 kilogram spools. I want bigger spools. The hot spot can easily be the build plate. So same corner, I'd almost bet you're getting a hot spot, but there's nothing wrong either with trying a lower temperature. Is this a glass bed or one of the plastic beds? Because the glass and the plastic will matter too, because you're going to get heat differential between the two. If you're not using glass, I would definitely cool it off. I'll be honest, most of my glass build plates, I print at 50. I don't print at 60 with PLA. But if it's all happening in the same corner every time, my inclination is you're getting a hot spot in the bed. And that's kind of a sucky thing that happens. I'm just not figuring out this part that I know is supposed to be a torpedo launcher, but it just does not want to find its home. So those parts will get set off to the side till later. There we go. In there. All right. Starting to take shape now. Now I don't know, the cool thing about this model kit versus the older model kits is it comes with the landing struts that you can put on here and actually have it sitting like it's landed in the couple episodes that it did. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I haven't decided if I want to make it look like it landed or not. Yeah, just try dropping it down 5 degrees or so. My Ender 3s, my beds, they're both glass beds. They're the Creality glass, and I run both beds at 50 degrees. I don't run them at 60. Especially depending on how warm the area is where the printer is. My print shop gets a little warm, so, but I would just knock it down to 50. And what you can do if it's consistently happening in that corner, grab a benchy or something like that and put it on that corner in Cura and just print it over there. See if it warps off still. See if it helps that part of the bed. So that's kind of a cheap shot suggestion that I have, is to just put something over on that corner to help out. Now, one thing too, is this a raft that's warping up, or is it the actual print? Because that's another thing you can try, is laying down a raft and see if that will help it from not pulling. So that way you've got better plate adhesion in the corner. It just honestly depends, Dirk. It's trial and error with your printer for a little while to figure out what's the best temp for your bed. There is no perfect temperature. I can tell you right now, every printer, and I say this a lot, every printer is different. I can have 5 CR10 V2s. Every one of them will be a little different in settings and how they work. So, and honestly, both my CR10 V2s that are down there, they both have different settings. So, all 4 warped at one corner. Yeah, I'd try. So there's 2 ways you can go. You can try cooling off the bed, or you can try heating the bed up hotter. But if it's happening consistently on the same corner, depending on how your initial lay down, how your squish looks, you might have that corner a little too low as well, that it's not getting good plate adhesion when it lays, even though I'm sure you've leveled and done all that too. Could be just a slight warp in the bed that's not letting it grab like it should, but I would try cooling it off a little bit and try a 5-degree swing either way to see if you can get that grip. What filament are you using? Because if you say Duramec, I'm going to laugh. Because that is the filament that I've had trouble with lately with warping. So you're not alone if you're using that one. So the plastic beds, I honestly ran them about 50 as well. But that was, my preference. The filament I was using, so every filament's different too. So kind of keep that in mind, that it is definitely a trial and error ball game. That's kind of the bad thing. Overture PLA, I've had someone else have the same issue. Scrap cooling it off, bump it up 65, and just kind of go with 5 increments. If I remember correctly, the one gentleman I worked with, we had to actually bump his build plate up to 70 to get it to stick with Overture. So, and find that sweet spot for it to get good plate adhesion. So, kind of keep that in mind. Give it a shot. And like I said, what I would do is that corner where you know it's peeling up, throw a Benchy over there. Or throw a calibration cube and see if the same thing happens. If the calibration cube will just pop off where it's been warping. Because it's one thing I hate about doing large-scale projects is warping. It drives me nuts sometimes when that happens, because you're working right along and everything is looking great, and then you come back and it's pulled away from the print. And I totally understand how annoying that can be. So but give that a shot. Let us know next week how it works. Now, I'll be honest, I print cooler. That's what's worked for me. So you just got to kind of find out what works. I just put the landing gear on just to see. Oh, it will actually sit. Huzzah! All right. Well, guys, there's Voyager assembled. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Overture, so I get it's cheap. It's not horribly priced, but I've also just not had good experience with it. I love their colors. Don't get me wrong. They're good filament. Do not get me wrong. I'm not bashing them in any way. They're good filament. But I just... oh, well, I know what's wrong here. Why those torpedo bays weren't working. Because they belong up here. I had the wrong one. No, I just lost one. Clear parts in the carpet. Carpet 1. Carpet 2. I'll find them. So, and I'll leave the other 2 on the spruce, so don't leave them. So I'm going to set this guy aside. So, it's definitely a trial and error with temperatures. So, keep that in mind. Let's bring a large project over. So, I don't mean to bash them if I'm coming off that way too. So, they're a good filament. I love their colors. There is some trial and error. I tend to use it for more smaller projects where, like this is inland PLA plus gray. And you guys can see it comes out gorgeous. It works really well, and the cool thing too, and actually I need to move more of this Voyager stuff, get this off my desk. The great thing about, so this is the actually inland filament. It's got a good color for just flat gray, and it's a good strong filament. And this is the end of the spool, and that's where my favorite tool is coming into play, is a 3D printing pen. Because, as you guys can see, I've got some gaps that were unintended. But Overture is a good brand. There's nothing wrong with them. So I am using, I think it's Tensi is the 5K spools that I'm using now. I've had a lot of good luck. Actually, a lot of that Stormtrooper armor, or not Stormtrooper, Death Trooper armor, if you go back and check that video out, a lot of that was the Tensi. And the reason why I've been doing 5K spools is, one, the CR10 Max, I need more than 1K to even do anything in its build area. But I just hate reloading all the time. It gets really annoying. So I've switched to 5K and 3K. The 3K spools that I'm trying out right now are from RepRap. Both are found on Amazon. We'll get links in the description tomorrow morning. So definitely kind of one of those things. It's definitely a fun thing to work with. So I am going to get this guy turned on. This is actually the first time I've used this pen. So we're about to have some fun, guys, because this was new for me at Christmas. I'm going to make sure I'm in the frame here. So we'll move the camera a little bit. But it doesn't look like a lot. But that gap right there is all the way through. So I can do the Vallejo resin filler and stuff like that. But what I'll do is basically get a bead in here, get it smooth, and then when I want to clean it up, I basically hold my X-Acto knife in a flame for a while and heat up the blade, or I'll get my wood burner, or solder. A lot of people use a soldering iron. I have a wood burner kit with a flat blade that will let me come in here and really smooth it down. So kind of a lot of tools of the trade. We're waiting for that red light to turn green, and I will get in here and get that nozzle in there. Now, why did I choose the 3D Doodler this time? The simple question is, answer is, it has a brass nozzle. Same nozzle my printers use, where my old one had a ceramic nozzle. And it was very sad day when the nozzle broke. But what's also cool about this one is I can put smaller nozzles in. I can put 0.2, 0.1 and change the way the pen functions. So we'll get it drawing in some filament here. I'm going to get that back on its stand, make sure this is pulling. And there comes the PLA. So basically I'm just going to get her in the groove. I have it on slow right now. This has a slow and a fast. It's not pulling all that great on my filament. That's a little concerning. It's not wanting to grab my filament spool, but that's okay. But you guys can see what it did extrude. I'll hold it up here a bit tighter. It did extrude, and it let me put that in there. And like I said, what I'll do is I'll take a soldering iron, or well, it's a wood burning set, but it has a flat tip, and I can use that to, or a really sharp tip that I can actually cut excess off and clean that up. Let me grab one of the rods that comes with the pin here real quick. We'll that's ABS. Alright. So this one also comes with its own filament rods, so we'll slot one of those in and see if it works a little bit better. I don't know why it did not like my filament spool. I think I may now just have an answer. This is running on 2.85. Okay, well, that's easy enough to buy a spool. Alright, so now I've got it loaded. Kick her back up on slow. Give it a few moments. Come on. There she goes. Now she's pulling. We just gotta wait for some filament to come out down here. Hopefully you guys can see it and not seeing the back of my head. There comes the filament. It's a pretty good color match. So I'll actually stop it because I'm getting too much. I'll use the nozzle to kind of pull it away. Not burn my hand here, but while it's still hot, I'll get in there. I'll flip it over. I'll actually do quite a bit here more on the bottom because there's a bigger seam. So cue it up slow. Start getting some filament out. Start laying the bead. Alright, so that's just the initial. My tool here, kind of do a little bit of cleanup before it goes off too much. But you gotta be careful because you can easily pull it out too. Actually need my cutters. Well, I accidentally broke that one, so I didn't let it cool off enough. But like over here, it's actually down, it's tight. Now I can actually just start trimming away excess. And like up here, you can see now it's actually one solid piece. These are actually melded together, which is another great side effect is I don't have to use glue. So And what I'll do, like I said, I'll come back and I will, now you're definitely seeing a bead there because it's a different color, but I'll come back and now I can sand that smooth, and I'm not wasting a bunch of very expensive filler. So it's one great thing about it. If you guys really want to see me doing a lot of work with the 3D printing pen and putting something together, go check out the Captain America shield video. That shield, all 30 pieces it's all assembled using a 3D printing pen. So definitely keep an eye on that. And I'm not sure if anybody in the stream remembers the other Superstar Destroyer, but you notice there's no, this one is the actual Executioner Imperial version, not the Republic version. So got definitely 2 of these, and if you guys are curious, this is roughly just shy of 3 feet long. So, and it's got a lot of great detail. It takes 200 hours on a CR10 V2. Yes, NSS, you probably saw that on this stream. It should go in there and adhere. So, but that is one thing that you can do. My preference is I like the Vallejo plastic putty. It settles in really good, cleans up really well, and works really well. But this is just one way to do this. And then what I'll do is I'll come back and all I'll have to do is really sand that, make sure it goes smooth. I may use an X-Acto knife to etch some of these details back in. But all in all, it works really well. But NS, you probably saw that on the stream last week. I was talking about this topic. So it is definitely something that we can do. And even her stand is 3D printed. I have a bunch of these laying around. This stand's really a useful stand for a lot of ships. So now we got to kick over to another project. How many people here play Diablo? Just out of curiosity. So, anybody play Diablo or anything like that? That's turned off. So, because one print I've been working on and putting into paint here lately is Lilith from, I believe, Diablo 3 or Diablo 4. This is a combination print. This is a FDM base. So I did this with my Odin, did the base, and then her actual figurine is a resin print. So I've been needing to paint on this. You can see I've been working on it. I'm trying to get the skulls distinguished out, starting to work her dress, get more of the colors that belong to it on here. And once I have the skulls kind of peeled out, I actually intend to kind of make this a pool of blood at her feet and kind of have the blood kind of like in streams down in the skulls is kind of what I'm hoping to go for. But a lot of you guys may be asking, well, for dresses black, why did you do purple? Dirks, I totally understand that too. I haven't been playing much except for Halo. I will play Halo all day long. But that's going back to being a kid. Halo was life before soccer became life. And now this is life. So I even need to get in and start painting on this guy. I've got him primed. I need to start getting him painted up. So then if you guys saw last week's stream, I'm still working on my 3D printed Imperial Knight. So that model is coming along. Still got some more assembly to do, and then I'll really get into painting him. But I need to work on this one. Just so you guys know, here's kind of the reference image that I'm going for with her. I'll switch over here and show this real quick. So this image right here is the one I'm kind of gearing towards with her, the fabric of her clothes and all that stuff. That's kind of what I'm working towards. So then we'll probably do some more work on Mercy's wings. Actually, I kind of want to start with Mercy. I want to start because I think I have paint still in the wet palette here. So if you guys, anybody does model painting, you definitely know you need a wet palette. Because these are paints I started with a couple days ago and they are still wet, which is glorious. So I'm going to get some fresh paint down with it though. Because I want to do some mixing. And for a lot of her outfit, I'm using Monument Hobby Acryl Pro Orange and Golden Yellow. They work really well. As you guys can see, these are just the initial base layer over primer of the yellow, and it comes out really, really well. NSS, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. I really appreciate the $4. That was definitely unexpected, but greatly appreciated, and appreciate you helping out the channel. It's not light enough. It got too dark. I put too much orange in it. Basically what I'm doing is I'm pulling the color like fire further down her wings and getting closer to a red as I get closer to the tip. So I kind of want that flamed effect to happen with her wings, even though in a lot of pictures her wings are just gold. Anytime. Really appreciate you guys being here. And that's to everybody that's joined the stream. I appreciate everybody that comes to these and asks questions and interacts, because that's what this stream is about, is helping everybody out and interacting. So we all have things to teach each other. That's something that's not said enough about the world today, is we all have things to learn from each other. And if you didn't learn something new in a day, you may have wasted that day. So kind of one of those things that's out there. We always strive to learn, and I definitely even strive to learn something new every day. I work in IT, so it's not hard to learn something new every day, but boy, it can be just gosh darn fun to learn something new. Have a change of pace. Now, I did get a question in a comment, why am I just not airbrushing this? And one, my airbrush is not up here where I do this, so this is where I do all my kind of hand painting. But basically, I'm kind of trying to create the three layers as we go out. Yep, you learn from the people around you, and you also learn from Google and Reddit. Me being in the IT field, Reddit is one of the hot spots for information anymore. So I'm just kind of taking a little bit lighter, coming back with the yellow to create a blended effect there. one of the things I'm always amazed is my wife. Every day she gets up so early in the morning and reads. And she amazes me every day. Just how much she strives to learn in a day. Megan she's really an amazing woman. I think you guys can kind of see now, I'll hold it up better, how we're going from that yellow, pulling that orange color out. And actually I want to wash the brush here. I'm going to apply another, that's the wrong spot to do that. Just give another coat of yellow just up here. Brighten this a little bit more. Because yellows are a pain. Just period. Anybody else that on here that paints, you will probably agree with me. Yellows, golds, they can be a real pain to actually make work. But when you got them and when you got it just right, it looks fantastic. And one of the biggest paint tips I have to give is the model's done when you think it's done, when you are happy with it. Some people, they just never happy with their paint jobs. And I will fully admit I get that way sometimes, that I'm just not happy with it. But what matters is you're happy. Oh, my wife puts me to shame on the way she works. She works so hard. We both have 8 to 5 jobs. She's always working. She's doing things on the side. She's contributing to the community. She works with the channel. She does a ton for this channel with marketing and different things like that. I'm figuring out how to get us seen out here on YouTube. Which, if you guys are watch a video, just leave that comment a hi down below. Just let me know you were there. I really kind of appreciate it. YouTube looks for that interaction a lot, so definitely if you guys watching a video, make sure you leave those comments in there to help out, because that will get the channel ranked up higher and get it to where more people will see us out there, which is a great thing, I think. But you can see that orange is definitely starting to pull into the wing to kind of start creating that fire effect. Kind of a similar thing that we've done here. And basically I'm just coming in with a little bit of an orange yellow, and I'll just keep coming back with a darker and a darker one. And that will help create that fire effect coming from her wings, which I think will look really cool on this model. Instead of just a straight gold, this is my wings. Like that one, I got a little darker than I wanted. That's all right. We'll pull some of that darkness into the other wings too. Start really getting that orange down on our tips. But it just creates a gradient from the top start of yellow pulling out to that orange, which is a great thing. Is I come back, like I said, I'm going to be almost probably out to a very red orange on the tip of these. So it's definitely a neat effect. I want to start kind of getting more of the actual orange highlight in here. The orange darkness. So I'm actually just going to come in with orange first and kind of pull that color in. Remember, keep this where you guys can see it is part of the problem too. And create that highlight. So I still have to come back with her boots with some white to create it more of a variant. Get that brown, get some darker brown in there, like where the seam is. Start getting her hair color in here too. That goldish blonde I want to start getting in here. But I'm going to come up with just orange, pulling it thin. Into that other orange. Then what I'll do is I'll actually get some red on here and just bring this into more of a red. I'm going to pull some more of the yellow to orange in here. Kind of brighten this gradient a little bit. Pull more yellow in. Help that transition line here. Because we want that piece to actually look like it's flowing on her gown. If you guys see Megan on the channel, you know, you see our posts out on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, definitely say hi. She's worked hard to make those. So it's one of those things she, well, I'll be openly honest. This channel would not exist without Megan. So, and it definitely, if you've joined the stream and you haven't, definitely subscribe. We're out here every week doing this stuff. Back in on her arms here. It's actually orange into the yellow here of her arms. And the cool thing about acrylics, it dries really quick, so that's an awesome thing. It doesn't dry out too fast or too slow. Well, it can dry out too fast, but it has some advantages to working with. Definitely liking seeing this orange color in there, though. That's definitely helping out the model. And I am by no charge, guys, a professional painter. So this is just me painting for hobby. But you guys can see how that layering effect is really kind of sharpening the colors, making the colors pop out, and giving her full effect. I got to turn around here and I got to start on the back at some point. But that's just a really good start right there that I wanted to get moving forward with her. So we'll clean up and we'll switch over here to Lilith. So Lilith, I started with purple. And then I'm going to go darker and darker and darker. I'm going to start mixing purple with black to create a darker shade effect, especially where this is coming down. Where it is ornate material, that's going to be like gold and stuff like that. I'm going to come in with a brown first, and then come in with a brass color or a gold color over the top of it to give that gold a shine. And then the wing materials, I just kind of need to fill in. I need to bring more purple into the actual arms of the wings. Right now, these are just primer. But I'm going to come in with lighter purples. So I'm going to actually move my tray over. And what I'm going to do is, so her dress, I started with Nagathra Night. I'm going to come back in with some Phoenician purple on the wings. So that's where I'm going to start. So just had everybody here, kind of taking a poll, get everybody talking to them a little bit again. What do you guys think about me adding a Saturday night stream? Or a Saturday stream during the day and not during the night? I'm doing the night because during the week I work, of course. I have not opened this up yet, so we'll get it open. We'll pop that guy open for a second, and we'll go grab my little handy-dandy bottle of ball bearings. Grab one and thunk him in there. Now, you guys don't have to use ball bearings. I just got a really good deal on them. But it does help, especially with the Citadel paint, mix it up. So that's why I use it. And I think I want a little bit bigger brush as I work on these wings. And start in with the purple. Start kind of giving a good effect here on the bone portions of her wings. Stop putting off her wings. I've been kind of putting this off for a little bit. But if you're interested in me having a Saturday stream during the day, definitely leave me a comment. Let me know if that's something you would be interested in seeing. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to come in with the darker. Like in the wing, I'm going to come through with a lighter and kind of pull it to a lighter purple, almost into a green in the skin of the wings. But for now, definitely for the bone structure, I'm going to come across with purple to start. And then I will, basically I want to work the purple to between a black and that green. So the purple is going to kind of give me a good base layer to work with as I try to bring in those colors into her figure here. Major Sammy, I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. But as you guys can see, the purple's definitely kind of starting to pull. And it gives a layer too where I can come in and kind of start with that green and pull into the purple and even kind of have a line of black in there. So it's going to kind of help out quite a bit. If you're curious about how I primed it, I primed the whole model black. And then I came back with white from one direction and sprayed. So it kind of gives it a highlighting effect. That's why it has this weird whiting effect, is how I sprayed the model. I like the way the lighting effect can come through when you're working on stuff like this. So but this is just one model I've been really needing to work on. Is there anything anybody would like to see me print anytime soon? We got an event going on here locally that I'm trying to print the 1989 Batmobile. Also got a model for the animated series, kind of pulling some more superheroes in here. I'm going to be... a video will be coming soon of the Super Star Destroyer prints. So that is coming. Also, the Ambassador class, I decided to do a 3-for-1 video with that one. You guys have seen the Dreadnought on here in past streams. And I've got the original, and I printed the concept art one. And that ship is actually really cool. I thought it was really, really neat print. So I'm actually going to be putting all 3 in a video. I'll do a Cura slice session of one of them, because I had to print all 3 the same way. So the same angleization and stuff. So and there'll be links if you guys want to decide to go print the models yourself. There'll be links in the videos for it. So that's kind of a fun project that's been going on. The Super Star Destroyers will be coming soon. I plan on letting a video go about how to unclog most 3D printers, and why you may have gotten a clog. So that's something that's coming up. Let's see here. What else have I got in the wheelhouse here? I've got some resin prints coming off the printer now, off the Proxima. So I'll probably be doing some talk about slicing prints and stuff like that. Still trying to figure out a good way to time-lapse those. I haven't really found one that I'm happy with. The Photon Mono X, I've got a cable that connects to a camera, and I'm kind of experimenting with that if I hadn't broken the printer. I'm actually probably going to be doing a stream soon. My Creality LRD 002, the FET broke and got damaged the LCD, so I have the replacement. So I'm probably going to do the replacement on stream here. That just didn't fit into tonight's schedule, even though I need that printer back. But I've got the part and everything, so keep an eye out. There may be a stream, there may be a mic fixing a printer stream coming up very shortly. Yeah, taking your time while painting is a thing. Definitely something you got to watch out for. Like, in all honesty, how far you guys have seen me in the Lilith print has taken me quite a bit of time. And right now, I'm not so worried about getting this purple laid down because I know I'm going to pull and layer it. So this is just kind of a base coating. So in all honesty, a lot of this will probably get covered up, but it's going to contribute to the next layer. So that is kind of why I do base layers, and then I come back in with really, really thin layers to bolster the next layer. So because I'll probably come in with like a Wraithbone white actually into the center of the wing's skin material, and then build outward. Now a lot of people would do this it can be done really quick with an airbrush, but I don't want to airbrush this model. One, there's just too many accidents waiting to happen if I tried to airbrush it. And 2, there's a lot of detail I don't want to overly lose that I think I can honestly, I feel like I can get better with the brush right now. So but you can see with the purple, you can see how the white is interacting with it and giving that highlight to the shape of the wing, of the bone, of the curvature in the wing, which is a desired effect that I wanted. So the paint is going on beautifully right now. Like here where the bones crease, I will actually come back with like black and pull in a darker color to make that work. So But when it comes to, and Microsoft had to let me know I have emails, when it comes to painting, this does take a long time. I take my time. Airbrushing definitely speeds up the process, but I like going for a lot of detail, like that Mercy model. There's a reason why I set it aside when I did, because I knew I was going to start rushing, and I didn't want, sometimes knowing yourself and knowing, hey, I just need to set this down and walk away, can be a great thing when you paint. And again, the disclaimer, I am not a professional model painter. I never claimed to be. I am just a guy that enjoys working on models. And getting that structure in there. Because like once I'm done with these, I'll probably set this one back aside. I may grab the Talizora model that's over here and start putting some purple on her. Anybody a Mass Effect fan? I know I'm pulling back on a lot of video games right now. So but when it comes to minifigures and busts and stuff like that, that's kind of where I go, is the video game realm. Just kind of my thing. Other side a little bit, and then take it from my hands. But you can see the colors definitely starting to add in, and pull her more into a reality here. And of course, her skin's kind of got a whitish greenish to it, which I accidentally flipped here. I'll have to fix that. I need to really start bringing some golds, the browns through here, brown through here to highlight these gold. I need to highlight that skull off and bring it out so it can pop against her. And I want to actually make these look like bone. So even though in the pictures they don't, I want to keep a bone-ish look to that. So I want the washed white for that one. So as I said, it's time to set her aside. And these are some resin prints that I've done of just Talizora. So I'll start putting some color. Here's the other one. It's just her standing straight. They're out on Thingiverse. These were both done with the Creality LRD or LR 002. But let's start getting some color on her. Give me 1 second. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting a mount that's going to put a screen right here on the rig right next to the camera, so I won't be looking away as much. Just trying to find a picture of her armor so I can have a reference. Okay. Let's pick on this one. There's a lot of purple in her armor. Go down to a smaller brush though, because if you look at the picture of her armor, there's a lot of ornate gold in her armor. Well, it's not really armor; it's more her life suit that her people have to wear just to survive. So. I can tell it's getting late. My hand's starting to really shake tonight. Another sign of it's getting time to quit. Which, oh wow, we've been going for quite a while, guys. I just realized the time. I didn't realize it was 10 o'clock. Kind of one of those things. We'll maybe save the rest of Taliazora here for next time. I'll try to work on her a little bit and get some more purple in here. But I do have work in the morning. I'm sure a lot of you guys do. Before we cut it short, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're out there and watching a video, make sure to just leave a comment. Hi, leave that interaction. Always, if possible, give that thumbs up. It does help out all our videos get viewed and help us with our ranking and get our content out there. So it is greatly appreciated. I appreciate everybody that showed up to the stream tonight. As always, I appreciate you guys. And I think I'm going to cut it right here after looking at the time. So thanks to everybody. You are greatly appreciated. If there's a model you want to see me work on, definitely leave a comment down on this video, or out there on the community page is my email address. Feel free to send me a direct email and ask me about a model if you want to as well. So I thank you guys, and we will see you guys in the next video.